Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our latest Power Breakfast edition, Women in STEAM. I am Camila Duarte, the Innovation Specialist and Women Breaking Barriers Program Lead. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We know how essential Canadian women entrepreneurs are key to our economic success, and we want to support and recognize their invaluable contributions to our communities. We also know that the COVID-19 pandemic has disproportionately impacted women entrepreneurs, and besides that, women still face unique and systemic barriers to starting and growing a business. They remain underrepresented in our economy, especially in STEAM and social innovation. This is why this virtual session is intended to provide business leaders, thought leaders, and startups with a perspective on the importance of women in STEAM, as well as the pathways being created to improve representation of women in STEAM fields. We would like to take this opportunity to thank our partners, sponsors, and supporters who have contributed tremendously to our success and our female founders' success. We get to that starting a business is hard, and we understand even more that it's easier when you have the right support, network, and tools to start one. We have our allies who collaborate with us and support us to make sure we have options and resources at all times. Our core funding partners allows us to support entrepreneurs, and without them, we wouldn't be here. So thank you so much. We also want to share with you that we are a small but mighty team of 6 passionate people who value innovation, collaboration, and determination. We bring our best every day to make sure our clients feel supported. Each of us contributes to the Innovation Cluster's successful programs, and we are very proud to be here. This is our volunteer board of directors. They are all great and important people who come from our community and from different areas of expertise. We thank you for your continued support and dedication to the organization. And we know that some of you are aware of how we impact the region, but some of you may not. So how we always say, there are many different ways that we impact the Peterborough and Kawarthas. And we always say there are 3 main ways that we do that. The first way is that we ensure that we are strengthening innovation and entrepreneurial capacity in the region. We provide a framework for entrepreneurs to be successful through mentorship, expert advice, workshops, investment opportunities, and more. The second thing is that we focus on assisting new company formation and growth, especially on the intellectual property space, as it takes a lot of understand how to build a company. So we support them by immersing them and connecting them with the right tools and people in order to bring their company to the next level. And the last way, and one of the many ways we support them and we make an impact, is by focusing regionally, provincially, and nationally, and even internationally on growing our knowledge-based economy. We know this is a great region, and working on our key 4 sectors, we keep feeding the knowledge and bringing more talent to our region. Hence, if you are an inspiring entrepreneur or know that you have this burning desire to be an entrepreneur and you have an idea that you want to bring to the next level, we encourage you to apply and become a client. We have excellent resources and programs that will help you creating your own company, and we want to help you with that. One of our programs is the Startup Visa program. It's on an international scale, and it comes with many benefits, including enable immigrant entrepreneurs to launch innovative companies that will create jobs in the region while competing on a global scale. We are supporting over 40 entrepreneurs with valuable assistance, especially navigating the Canadian business environment. And over the last year, we have supported 14 amazing female entrepreneurs taking their business from scratch to an investor pitch stage. The program has been great success, and we wouldn't have it done without the support of OTF. So thank you. This is where our theme comes for this Power Breakfast, and we're happy to share more about it later on. We also want to thank you and give a special thank you to one of our key partners, amazing advocate for our amazing region. They sponsor the Power Breakfast. Rhonda and her team, thank you. We know how much you work and the tremendous amount of hours to help recover our region. We are very thankful for your work. And finally, we would like to thank to the MPP Dave Smith for the province of Ontario, the region of Peterborough and Kawartha. Dave's dedication to Peterborough and the surrounding area is well known and widely acknowledged. In June 2018, Dave took the next step in his community dedication by being elected to serve as the MPP for the riding of Peterborough and Kawartha. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, and I will pass it over to Dave so he can share a few words. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Camilla. I really appreciate that. One of the things that we're celebrating today is the great work that the Innovation Cluster does, especially when we're talking about women in STEAM. I'll share a little personal story. My daughter now works for the Ministry of Agriculture, Rural Affairs here in Ontario. All through high school, she was encouraged not to get involved in sciences, but decided to go off to Guelph anyway and pursued a Bachelor of Science in biology, specifically in zoology. But it wasn't the soft sciences, so to speak. It was more around the technology side of it. We don't do enough as a society to promote science, technology with everyone, especially with women. And one of the things that is great to see with the Innovation Cluster is you're taking that challenge on head on, and you're doing a fantastic job with it. As part of the announcement today, and I won't steal all of Stephanie's thunder on this because I know that she'll want to speak to it as well. It gives me a great deal of pleasure to talk about how the Ontario Trillium Foundation is getting behind the Innovation Cluster on this with a $75,000 grant specifically for women in business, women in STEAM. And this is something that we need to be looking at across the entire board. If you don't take advantage of 51% of your population and harness the abilities that that group has, you're not doing a service to your community. And I think that the work that the Innovation Cluster is doing here is something that needs to be applauded, and we need to do a lot more of it because 51% of our population is female, and ensuring that we're harnessing all of those skills, that we're promoting, that we're doing everything that we possibly can to make sure that the majority of the people who live in this country are contributing at the highest level is something that we all need to get behind and do. With that, I will sign off. Thank you very much for having me on here, and I greatly appreciate everything that the Innovation Cluster is doing.
Thank you very much. Have a great day. Thank you for joining us this morning. Now we would like to welcome Stephanie Ball as the Ontario Trillium Fund representative. Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you very much, and great comments from Dave Smith. So affirming of what we're doing in my day job in education, and very inspiring to hear. So good morning. It's a pleasure to be here to say a few words as a volunteer with the Ontario Trillium Foundation's local grant review team. I want to acknowledge that Innovation Cluster's site is on the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe peoples. Ontario Trillium Foundation recognizes the long and rich history of the First Nations and Métis peoples in Ontario and wishes to show respect to neighboring communities of the Alderville First Nation, Curve Lake First Nation, and Hiawatha First Nation. So thank you for inviting MP Smith and I to virtually meet with you, giving us the chance to hear directly from you about the impact that your $75,000 seed grant has had since you've received it in the spring of 2020. And what a year it's been. Since 1982, the Ontario Trillium Foundation has been focused on helping our grantees build healthy and vibrant communities. We're an agency of the Government of Ontario and are one of Canada's leading granting foundations. Thanks to the funds we receive from the Ontario government, last year, the Ontario Trillium Foundation was able to award just over 1,300 grants to nonprofit organizations across the province. We think of each of our grants as being strategic investments, and the foundation was impressed with the compelling case you made for this seed grant. And to break away from the OTF lingo for a moment, a seed grant is exactly what it sounds like. It's designed to help nonprofits pilot innovative programs or conduct feasibility studies, helping them to plant the seed of a great idea and watch it grow. Needless to say, the Ontario Trillium Foundation loved the idea for the Women Breaking Barriers programs and the long-term impact it could generate. And over the last year, funds from your grant have helped with the costs involved with staffing, delivering workshops, creating marketing and promotional tools, and helping with other key program and administrative costs. Now that sounds like a list I just read out, an important list, but a list all the same. This is a grant that is about so much more. It's about helping foster a network and enabling women to grow their businesses and continue to innovate in their chosen professions. I'll look forward to sharing what I've learned with OTF staff and my fellow volunteers. Thank you again for approaching us with your vision for this program. It has been an incredibly challenging year, and I want to thank you for finding ways to move forward and making such a difference. Keep well, and congratulations to everyone.
Thanks so much, Stephanie. We really appreciate your support. It has been the tremendous help and making a difference for all these women. Thank you so much. Now we would like to welcome some words from Michael Souls, Vice President Commercial Banking of Royal Bank of Canada, for our Peterborough Kawartha to the Lakeshore Market. Welcome, Michael. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, good morning, and thank you very much for having me. You know, everyone, as we have already heard this morning, we have some incredible women who are leaders in the Peterborough Kawartha area, paving the way of success and holding the door open for the next generation of remarkable women leaders. And it really deserves some recognition here this morning. As we know, women are still vastly underrepresented in the areas of STEAM, despite the growing number of women pursuing STEAM-related education, which is why it is so important for us to make the opportunities of STEAM careers as open and accessible to all. With the rapidly growing STEAM industries, a diverse and inclusive workforce is a strong workforce. I think we all know that. This is why we at RBC are immensely proud to partner with the Innovation Cluster on the Women Breaking Barriers program. The accelerator fosters the entrepreneurial spirit in a group of like-minded women, supporting them to gain confidence and access to vital resources like pathways to funding and industry networks in the region that so often can be roadblocks and barriers to success, especially when you're starting out. RBC understands the importance of supporting female-led tech companies, and we're elated to see the strong, impactful, and resilient founders and businesses graduate from this fantastic program. One such company we're going to feature here this morning is Undo Wearables, a graduate of the first cohort of Women Breaking Barriers. Undo Wearables is a Canadian femtech company making wearable pain relief for menstrual health. The company specializes in making natural, long-lasting, reusable heat packs for the lower abdomen and back to relieve pain caused by menstrual cramps, dysmenorrhea, and endometriosis. They're on a mission to build inclusive products that learn from nature and set new standards for sustainable design. These products are built using biomimicry-inspired technology from their workshop here in Haliburton, Ontario, and I'm pleased to introduce Undo Wearable co-founder, Catherine Porter. Hi, Catherine.
Hello, thank you so much for the robust introduction. You've done so much of my work for me.
You're welcome.
Is it okay to start sharing my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Well, hello, everyone. I just want to say thank you so much for having us here. We're thrilled to be here as one of the representatives of the first cohort of the Women Breaking Barriers program. It was an incredible experience for us, and we're thrilled to show you a little bit about what we're doing and tell you a bit about why that program was so formative for us. let me just, perfect. I'm Catherine Porter. I am one of the co-founders of Undo, and as mentioned, we're a femtech company that makes wearable pain relief for menstrual health. Our mission is to bring comfort and joy to your off days. So a little bit about me. As you can see from some of these images, I am a pretty outgoing, active individual. I'm happiest when I'm doing things like leading canoe trips, running, traveling, and just feeling the most like myself. But from the age of 17, 2 days a month, I would be struck with debilitating menstrual pain, and it would keep me from participating in the things that I loved to do and the things that made me feel like myself. Turns out I'm not alone. 84% of women struggle with menstrual pain, and this results in monthly absenteeism from work, school, and life. And in the US and Canada, this means approximately 137 million people are possibly disabled by this condition. One of the things that has been helpful for a long time now has been the hot water bottle. The hot water bottle has been a helpful companion for this problem for many years, but in over 100 years, it has not changed until now. Meet wearable heat. We have condensed the energy of the hot water bottle into a wearable heat pack to produce long-lasting, reusable, biodegradable heat. The best part is it's designed to let you do you. It allows you to get out of the house and keep participating in the things that make you feel most like yourself. So I want to tell you a little bit about our story, and it is one, I think like a number of women, that is a bit of an unlikely STEAM partnership. So I think we like to think that new ideas or innovations, happen, or we wish that they happen in a clean way. You have this idea, and then you just work hard and it comes to reality. But of course, we know that more often than not, it looks quite a lot more like this. And that's true of both this project and my connection to beginning to work in STEAM as well. So I actually am not a scientist. I did not study in the STEAM field. I actually come from a visual art background. I would say that in high school, I did not feel very encouraged to follow or pursue areas that were more scientific, and I did go a different route. But over time, this actually led me to a career in architecture and design, and then eventually management consulting. But even though this appears like a windy road, the through line that actually carried through this experience was a perpetual interest in gender and design, and ways that gender was either included or excluded from design decisions based on what was visible or comfortable to talk about. And this is a big subject, but if you're curious about it, I would highly recommend reading Invisible Women by Caroline Criado Perez. This is the book that I wish I wrote when I was studying this in school, but she did a great job, the best job actually. So our second co-founder, Charlie, he actually has a windy road as well, but he is the more traditional STEM candidate. He has a background in physics, did some work in prop and film design, and also has experience in engineering. But for him, there was a through line of biomimicry and manufacturing. He was always interested in the way that we could learn from the natural world and emulate what it knows to help us make new things in a different way. So actually, by 2016, Charlie had already come up with a new manufacturing technology that helped to capture the intelligence of nature to create new biomimicry-inspired forms. This, to him, seemed like a viable solution for solving problems like bed sores or even creating custom orthotics, but basically he knew that it would be helpful in heat transfer to the body without a really important problem to solve. And this is where our unlikely partnership comes in, because Charlie did come from a background in science, technology, and engineering, but I came from a background in design and the arts. But the value of our collaboration came when we brought those two sets of knowledge together to create a new product that could help serve the market in a different way. So we collaborated on turning this technology into a new wearable heat pack for menstrual pain. And this started with a bang and won us the 2009 National James Dyson Award. So even though that was an incredible moment of success, you'll know that there's a big gap between coming up with a concept and actually making it to market. So really, we started to get going after the James Dyson Award, and COVID was a great opportunity for that. So what COVID allowed us to do was reimagine our life and how we were going to solve this problem. We got to move to Haliburton. We used some empty space in my parents' garage, and it was not empty, but it was underutilized. And we turned this into a place to start our work from. By making that move and becoming connected to local resources, we got to participate in the HEDC programs where they facilitated a small business loan from us. This allowed us to get started and buy our really important equipment that was essential in completing R&D and getting to market. Thank you, Sarah and Patty. From there, we began to participate and conduct user research and really focus on R&D. Over the course of the year, we collected surveys, we conducted over 40 hours of customer interviews, and did months of product testing, all to make sure that we were creating something that had real use in the market. And finally, we were connected to the Women Breaking Barriers program. And not to overuse this analogy, but if our experience was like this red squiggly line, Women Breaking Barriers was this through line that really helped connect us to important resources, hold us accountable, and give us structure in this long and difficult road to market. Thank you specifically to Rose Terry. So the Women Breaking Barriers program was essential for us in so many ways. But I would like to say that one of them that was really, really impactful was that it really helped connect us to practical resources, unlike any other program we had been a part of. We had been part of other incubators that were more focused on conceptual design frameworks and designing and sort of a little bit less focused on practical resources. But the Women Breaking Barriers program really helped us to connect us to really specific things that would help us to to run a business in a way that we had never done before. It also connected us to a community of like-minded women, networks of consultants that could help us solve problems, big and small, and also come in and have those touch points that allowed us to move forward when problems got hard. And finally, it gave us some visibility, not unlike this discussion right now. So where we are now, we are proud to say that we are on the market and growing. We have 2 products on the market. One is our original heat pack, and the second is our Keep It Brief. The original heat pack was designed with the top 5 characteristics in mind that we gathered from our user research. It's heat-based, which is proven to be very effective for people. It's affordable, it's natural and non-invasive, it's ethically made, and it's discreet. You can do anything that you would do in your regular life. It's also, and you can pair it with our custom underwear for 30 minutes of deep and penetrating heat. Pair it with the Keep It Brief, and you have a pair of underwear with a pocket on the front and back of your lower abdomen to hold the heat where you need it most. It's made of bamboo and is also made with a manufacturing partner in Ontario. So some high points of our journey are, and there's been a few, of course, some low points as well, but the first high point was getting to market in June. We were able to get to market in under a year, and we were able to fulfill our first round of pre-orders this June by delivering some of the packages ourselves and also fulfilling online. Another high point was in that same month that we launched, we were featured in Harper's Bazaar, a beauty edition. They wrote an article about how we've been ignoring the problems that existed for women in the forms of period care because we haven't been comfortable talking about them. And we got noted as one of the new essentials for menstrual care moving forward. Finally, we had, in social media, we had a reel go viral. A woman who was a big fan of what we were doing made a video about us, and we succeeded in getting 1.4 million views and a lot of enthusiasm and excitement as a result. So what's next for us is a couple of things. We are looking to expand. We are looking to expand to the US market so that we can fulfill a lot of the interest that has started to pop up because of this visibility. And we are looking to find and be connected to manufacturing partners so that Charlie can get out of the workshop and we can begin to fill this market in a larger way than we currently are. So join us. If you know anyone who has interest in partnering in that way, please send us an email. Also visit our website and do wearables.com. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Catherine. That was very inspiring and motivated. I'm sure all the women in the panel and as attendees are inspired by your presentation. Thank you so much. Now I would like to invite Rhonda Burnett from FemSTEAM Peterborough. Rhonda has over 3 decades of experience as a female tribalizer, achieving great heights in male-dominated industries and institutions. Thanks, Rhonda, for joining us this morning. Welcome.
Thank you, and thank you for the warm introduction. And it's really great to follow Catherine, and I think we need to talk. Obviously, I work around the subject matter of women in manufacturing. I do this around the world. I do it broadly in Canada and in Ontario. We have a great program around Ontario Makes, and we have a lot of female makers in that space. So would love to connect with you on this file for sure. But today I'm here talking to you about a new organization in Peterborough called FemSTEAM PTBO. So I want to just set the stage a bit here, of why this is important. We've heard a lot about it. I'm going to basically just validate some things that have been said and pose a couple of questions, and then I have a short presentation. So why are we talking about this? The reality is that companies from software developers and manufacturers to even accounting firms and financial institutions like we have here today, they're all positioning themselves as technology companies. So this has created a global talent war for STEM graduates. We just can't find enough. And it's expected by 2030, that's not very far away, that 50% of jobs in society in North America will be related to STEM, fields of STEM study. So just like was explained here in the last presentation, you may not have a STEM degree, but you will be working in an organization where STEM and understanding of STEM, it really matters. So we're trying to keep young women connected to all fields of study, including pure STEM. And we keep the A in there because that is the other part of society around the arts, that when we have people that are really natural talent and affinity around arts, we got to keep them connected to STEM. And when we have people that are pure STEM, we need to keep them connected to arts. So that I'll get into more of that, but that's really what it's about in Peterborough. So women make up 48% of the workforce in Canada, yet we're 30% of STEM graduates and only 23% of science and technology workers. And women are less than 15% of senior managers in technology companies and less than 5% of CEOs. So I work nationally and internationally to move the dial here because, women are, as was said, we're 50% of population, 50% of consumers in society. So I spend a lot of time talking to women about getting involved in producing better products, as was discussed in the last presentation, better products that the world needs. Women don't want to be passive users. We need to be at the table making products better and more sustainable. And this is a theme that resonates with women all over the world. So that's in a nutshell, why we do what we do at FemSTEAM. So I'm going to share my screen here. Share. Okay. I know I have to move that. Give me 1 second. Okay, so FemSTEAM PTBO, what are we all about? So about 2.5 years ago, I was in Toronto running a national campaign around women in manufacturing. I have this great campaign to add 100,000 women to the sector. And I brought some Peterborough people, some good friends out to see what we were doing. And they were so blown away by the work that I was doing nationally. And they thought, how can we take a little piece of that and bring it back here to Peterborough and start our own initiative around attracting more women in STEM. So those two women in particular were Dawn Hennessy and Sophie Andrew, and they're my co-founders at FemSTEAM PTBO. So we came back to Peterborough and we put together a big group of people in Peterborough that would have an interest in this. And it's grown a lot in 2.5 years. We have kind of a formal roundtable that guides and directs this group. We are entering right now our third annual STEAM Summit. I'm going to get into that in a bit. And we have a formal mentorship program in Peterborough with both school boards to keep the young girls connected to role models. So again, just let's touch base here. 50% of jobs are going to be STEM related by 2030. There's a real need here, and we know we're lagging in Canada and Ontario and in this region. So we want to make a difference here in Peterborough. So that's how we've got together. And what's our goal? Our goal in Peterborough is to increase the number of young girls entering post-secondary STEM pathways by 5% in 5 years. That's a pretty aggressive target, and we have a plan to do that. So I'm going to roll just a very short video here to give you an idea of our programs and our mentors. It's a 1.5-minute video. It's from last year's event. It shows the opening from last year's event, and you'll meet 6 mentors from last year, and then I'm going to talk about what's going on this year.
There are jobs, good paying jobs, where you get to make a world of difference waiting for you. I hope that you're able to get a lot of inspiration from the people you hear about today, from the amazing women you hear about today. And I hope that you are seriously considering pursuing a path that opens a world of possibilities for you. We're all here to cheer you on.
So being a woman in STEAM means being a confident and independent woman that has a good career and can take care of themselves.
For me, I think it's important for younger girls and younger women to see what's out there, what they can do, and it doesn't have to be so mainstream in what you think you should be doing.
For me to be a woman in STEM, it feels like I've accomplished something. Throughout my career, I wouldn't say people have told me I can't do something, but sometimes they've assumed I would.
It's important for women to broaden their career options. It's good for skill development. And I think that women can bring a lot of ideas and innovation to the workplace.
Being a woman in STEAM, it presents a lot of challenges and it's very rewarding.
Being a woman in STEAM just means to me to bring a different perspective and just be a badass scientist.
So I hope that gave you a little flavor of what we did last year at our STEAM Summit. And you'll see again that interchanging of STEM and STEAM, and we still haven't got that right, but we like to talk about STEAM, and FemSTEAM is really, we think of STEAM as power, and it's in the power of a STEM career, staying connected to STEM and arts, and it's the power that provides for the future of young girls and women. So we have our next annual summit. It'll be our 3rd annual summit coming up in just a month. So here's a save the date. It's geared to grade 7 and 8 girls across the entire community, entire county. But we do invite people to participate, not participate like engaged, but to watch the show, see what we're doing, and also get engaged in our mentorship program. So save the date. It's going to be Wednesday, October 13th. The Innovation Cluster is helping us put this together. We can send out the link that you can watch this live starting at 9:30. We've had some pretty great guest speakers in the past. The first year when we kicked this off, we had Dr. Roberta Bondar come out in person and kick off this whole campaign. Last year, we had Dr. Donna Strickland, who was the first Nobel Prize winner in physics, a local woman in Kitchener. She was absolutely wonderful, down to earth. She's reached the highest heights in her career. She's a Canadian woman, and it was so great to introduce her to our community. This year, we're taking a different approach. We're going to focus on trades and technologies. We have 2 guest speakers this year, and they're incredible. We have Nicole Verkint on the technology side, owns a massive technology company in Canada. And we have Jamie McMillan, who leads Kick-Ass Careers, and she's going around the province engaging young girls into trades. So we're very excited about our summit this year, and stay tuned for more information from the Innovation Cluster and FemSTEAM about that. So again, our mission is to engage the full population in the problems we need to solve in the world. And that means really picking up where we're missing with young girls. And it's full steam ahead when we do that. We engage the full population. We play with the full deck to solve the most pressing problems. I myself am a STEM graduate, so I'm very close to this work. I dedicate a lot of my life to mentoring young girls and women in their pathways in both STEM and manufacturing. And I would just encourage all of you in the community to take up this challenge and carry the torch. Everybody can do their part to engage more girls and women in these pathways. And please reach out to get connected to our work, because this is a grassroots movement in our community, and we're doing great things. So I hope that you'll stay connected. So thank you so much for the opportunity today.
Thanks so much, Rhonda. I'm hoping that everyone gets connected to you and FemSTEAM Peterborough. It's a great initiative that we're very happy to hear about. Thank you so much for being here. And I just wanted to talk a little bit more about the Women Breaking Barriers program, especially the results that we had in the last year. As you know, Women Breaking Barriers is the first virtual accelerator program that promotes women pursuing innovative careers through science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and social innovation, which is very important to the Peterborough and the Kawarthas. It was identified in the focus group that a significant strength of the program is its structure. It was noted that it provides a clear and holistic overview of the fundamentals of business development to prepare entrepreneurs to take their business to the next level. This is validated by the results from an online participant survey that we conducted, and 100% of the respondents indicated that they agree or strongly agree that they have more access to effective business development tools and resources for entrepreneurs. 93% of the respondents agree that they are better prepared for entrepreneurship. And also they enhance some access to experts and a bigger support of the development of a supportive community. 86% of the respondents indicated that they have been able to grow their networks since participating in the Women Breaking Barriers program. So we really thank you, our supporters, our participants, our clients who made this program a complete success. We are very grateful for each of the funding partners, for OTF, and everyone who made the program possible. Thank you so much for today, for your participation today. I hope you had enjoyed a little bit of what is all about women in STEAM, and we hope we hear from you soon. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoy your Friday, and we'll see you hopefully soon. Thank you so much to everyone. Have a great day.